This week is Hurricane Preparedness Week, and for today, topic, get an insurance checkup. Call your insurance company or agent and ask for an insurance checkup to make sure you have enough homeowners insurance to repair or even replace your home. Don't forget coverage for your car and boat also. Remember, standard homeowners insurance doesn't cover flooding. Whether you're a homeowner or renter, you'll need a separate policy for it, and it's available through your company, agent, or the National Flood Insurance Program at floodsmart.gov. Act now, as flood insurance requires a 30-day waiting period. Hey, welcome to the Cash Report. So right now, we have Governor Reeves, who seems to have gotten himself in a feud with the state legislators. But before we get to that, I want to give the coronavirus update. Remember, if you're waiting for test results, please stay home as a precaution not to infect other people. Wait till you get your results, whether positive or negative, before trying to leave and go out. As of May 4th, Mississippi had 8,207 cases, 1,611 are under investigation, 342 deaths, 59 of those deaths are under investigation. Union County, we have 36 cases, 2 deaths, 10 in long-term care, and 1 long-term care death. Are you wondering if you had COVID-19 already? I've seen here in New Albany, Red Med is now administering the antibody test. You can call at 662-486-2700 or drop by the clinic today. Now, to me, this is a great thing to have here in our community. I definitely want to get the antibody test done to see, and people should. For me, it gives a peace of mind to know if I had the virus or not, and if my immune system was strong enough to fight it. If they need plasma, I'd gladly donate to help someone. So I hope I can get the test done here soon, and I'll try to video and take you on that journey of that, if they allow. Which are starting to, I don't know if it's just me or the other people, starting to get a little flawed on accuracy. Even Dr. Dobbs could not give a straight answer. So I reached out about how these antibody tests are listed if someone does show that they had COVID-19. How are these numbers added in? A source said clarification has been sought from the state health department on this, and they are awaiting an answer. But yes, until then, they will report as a write-in on the report form. So some of these increases we're going to start to see is not fully active cases, but possibly numbers from antibody tests of people who already had it. I think Dr. Dobbs and the governor and other officials need to make this clear so people do not panic, but encourage them to get the antibody test. Seems they can learn a lot more on how our body reacts to COVID-19 Just like with the death numbers, we also see the fluctuation because of death certificates coming in that are saying it was COVID or it wasn't COVID. So you see those numbers start to fluctuate also. Here in Union County, the Board of Supervisors have extended their declaration of an emergency for the coronavirus through the end of May. All county offices will remain locked with limited personnel, and the public is asked to call concerning any businesses they might have. Now, Northeast Mississippi News talked to Union County Emergency Management Director Kurt Clayton, and he said there are indications the curve illustrated by COVID-19 cases may be flattening some statewide, but that is not the case here. When you go from 6 or 7 cases to 30 in a week and a half, that's a spike, he said. He also expressed that people still need to take the situation seriously by wearing masks in public and maintaining social distances. And of course, sanitizing your hands, wiping your feet before you go into your house, etc. Now, on Monday, the governor stated that the safer at-home order is still in effect till May 11th at 8 a.m. There have been some changes as follows. Restaurants and bars must be deep cleaned prior to reopening. Employees must be screened at the beginning of their shifts for recent fever and asked about potential exposure to people who've had COVID-19. Cloth masks must be provided to all employees who come in direct contact with customers. No more than 50% seating capacity in indoor and outdoor dining areas. There must be at least 6 feet of space between each group. Party size will be limited to 6 people per table. Bars that do not provide food must remain closed. Customers will be screened before entering the dining area. Restaurants must post signs saying customers with fever and other COVID-19 symptoms are not allowed. All restaurant and bars must place hand sanitizer at specific locations. All restaurants and bars must place hand sanitizer at certain locations. Now for outdoor activities, you can have up to 20 people gather for outdoor activities. Gatherings are still limited to 10 people or less for indoor activities. Parks can open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. with guidance from the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks and local authorities. People must continue to follow social distancing guidelines, such as keeping 6 feet apart. For the full text of this, you can see it in the bottom of the Facebook page, not the bottom of my Facebook page, at the comment section with this video. Now to what everybody is watching unfold daily on these briefings with the governor. I'm really like, what is going on? You're going to dispute for this with your own party instead of getting a solution to the problem? Now, what I noticed in Monday briefing before flipping it to make it look like it was the legislators' fault, and here's him talking about money for salon owners.
But I can't put the people of our state at unreasonable health risk to do so. Here's what I can do. I've instructed my team to come up with a plan to get some stabilization money out to salons and barbers from the CARES Act funds. It won't be enough to make up for all of the pain you have suffered. It's not a replacement for your ability to earn a living. It's just something I can do to help keep you stable. I wish I could do more for everyone. I can do this. We're working on the details, and those will be coming very, very soon. I do want to say that plans such as that are threatened by the reckless action of the Mississippi Legislature in a hastily called meeting late on Friday afternoon.
Now his response later to this question was different. So one minute he's saying he will get salons and barbers money, but then later in his own words he says he can't because of the Treasury rules, not the legislative rules when it comes to the COVID relief money.
That's fundamentally false for the following reason. The Section 3, which deals with FY20, Section 2 deals with FY21, but Section 3, which deals with FY20, says that these monies can be escalated, quote, for defraying expenses incurred by any state agency, department, or institution. So these monies could be spent for a state agency, a department, or an institution. I do not believe that it gives me the authority at this time. Now, admittedly, our lawyers are still reviewing it, But at this time, I read that to say any state agency. With respect to other state agencies, what Section 3 says is in this particular fiscal year, DFA, our finance agency, can only escalate funds up to this $100 million. Where they made a mistake, in my opinion, is even if they wanted to handicap us, even if they wanted to take the money and limit our spending, they should have said in Section 3, not for purposes provided under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, which includes all the money that the CARES Act spends. The $1.25 billion is a limited amount of the CARES Act. Remember, the CARES Act, and again, this is details that, and I'm willing to answer it, but I don't know that there are a lot of people back home that care, but the CARES Act gives Mississippi $1.25 billion specifically to the executive to manage through this crisis. Now, the total amount that goes to cities, counties, and other jurisdictions is $150 billion. Remember, the CARES Act is almost $2 trillion in aggregate, in total. And so if they had said there for the Coronavirus Relief Fund, then that would have given us much more flexibility in escalation authority and other budgets across state government. And while I still may not have liked it, it would at least have potentially given us more of an ability to manage through it. And so that's the distinction. It is the what I believe to be, I'm sure, a simple mistake, that they applied it in Section 3 to the entire act, not just to the Coronavirus Relief Fund, which is the CRF, which is what the Department of Treasury actually provides guidelines on, is the Coronavirus Relief Fund.
Now, what gets me in this briefing is to hear the governor say, people don't care, people don't care. And he says this multiple times, that the people of Mississippi just want money and to get back to work. They don't care about all this. Sorry to tell you, Governor, but the people do care. We care about money, but we also care about jobs, our homes, foods, family, and the state as a whole. But now after today, my question is not about the legislators, it's the governor. Why does he want full control of this money so badly? He says he's not mad about it, but it sure seems like it. On Monday, Speaker Gunn sent out a 7-page letter disputing statements Reeves has made concerning legislation passed last week that prevents the government from spending federal coronavirus relief funds. You can see the letter for yourself, also posted in the comments of this video. One thing I picked out from that was unemployment. You have also alleged that people are not now going to get their unemployment benefits because the legislature transferred the CRF. You have not provided any explanation as to how the transfer of the CRF will cause this to happen. To the contrary, we have talked to MDES on a daily basis for the last 5 weeks. We have routinely asked MDES if they needed anything from us, including money. They have said no. MDES has not made any request of us for money. You have not made any request of us for money on behalf of MDES. And you have not attempted to spend the CRF money to help MDES. Finally, we voluntarily offered to provide more money to MDES if they needed it. They said they don't need more money, all they need is time. Lack of money is not the reason people are not receiving their unemployment benefits. People have not received unemployment benefits because they cannot get someone to answer the phone. Some have not received unemployment benefits because their calls were dropped after being on hold for hours. Some have not even been able to file their claim because they could not get through to MDES dysfunctional claim system. Some have not received unemployment benefits because their claims got lost in the system. Separate and apart from the $1.25 billion in the CRF monies, The CARES Act provides federal funding to cover both the unemployment benefit and the state administrative expenses for processing claims. The legislature has not interfered one iota with the ability to access the funds. We feel sure you are truly aware that MDES does not suffer from a lack of funds either for benefits or for administrative expenses. If you are not aware of that, you should be. People are missing out on unemployment benefits because the system is overwhelmed, not because of a lack of funds. Now, in Tuesday's briefing, he was asked twice about unemployment, about workers who are now being called back to work. How do they still get unemployment for the work they missed? At first, he acted like he didn't hear the question. And then he comes back and he talks around it as he normally does when he can't answer something. I hope they get this resolved soon so people can either get their money, get back to work, and go on with our lives. Since the coronavirus, I have personally met some of the legislators prior throughout the year that he mentions in all this. All have been great and have answered my questions I have had on social media, whether it's from the staff or them personally. They have responded. Not one question I've ever left on Take's social media pages has ever been answered. Sometimes I notice also with the Governor Reeves is the way he does deflect these questions that are important. So people, it's only up to you. This is your tax dollars. Only you can decide how it gets spent. That's all.